Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune page. Here you will find original news programming, exclusive digital events, and shows that are directly from the community. At the Los Angeles Tribune, we believe in giving a voice to the voiceless. We are proud to be the only national brand to empower everyday people to make a difference. Since 1886, our reputation has been built on truth and responsibility. Thank you for watching and making a difference.
For general inquiries, contact today. Thank you on behalf of the Los Angeles Tribune team.
Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune page. Here you will find original news programming, exclusive digital events, and shows that are directly from the community. At the Los Angeles Tribune, we believe in giving a voice to the voiceless. We are proud to be the only national brand to empower everyday people to make a difference. Since 1886, our reputation has been built on truth and responsibility. Thank you for watching and making a difference.
For general inquiries, contact today. Thank you on behalf of the Los Angeles Tribune team.
Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune page. Here you will find original news programming, exclusive digital events, and shows that are directly from the community. At the Los Angeles Tribune, we believe in giving a voice to the voiceless. We are proud to be the only national brand to empower everyday people to make a difference. Since 1886, our reputation has been built on truth and responsibility. Thank you for watching and making a difference.
For general inquiries, contact today. Thank you on behalf of the Los Angeles Tribune team.
Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune page. Here you will find original news programming, exclusive digital events, and shows that are directly from the community. At the Los Angeles Tribune, we believe in giving a voice to the voiceless. We are proud to be the only national brand to empower everyday people to make a difference. Since 1886, our reputation has been built on truth and responsibility. Thank you for watching and making a difference.
For general inquiries, contact today. Thank you on behalf of the Los Angeles Tribune team.
Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune page. Here you will find original news programming, exclusive digital events, and shows that are directly from the community. At the Los Angeles Tribune, we believe in giving a voice to the voiceless. We are proud to be the only national brand to empower everyday people to make a difference. Since 1886, our reputation has been built on truth and responsibility. Thank you for watching and making a difference.
For general inquiries, contact today. Thank you on behalf of the Los Angeles Tribune team.
Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune page. Here you will find original news programming, exclusive digital events, and shows that are directly from the community. At the Los Angeles Tribune, we believe in giving a voice to the voiceless. We are proud to be the only national brand to empower everyday people to make a difference. Since 1886, our reputation has been built on truth and responsibility. Thank you for watching and making a difference.
For general inquiries, contact today. Thank you on behalf of the Los Angeles Tribune team.
Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune page. Here you will find original news programming, exclusive digital events, and shows that are directly from the community. At the Los Angeles Tribune, we believe in giving a voice to the voiceless. We are proud to be the only national brand to empower everyday people to make a difference. Since 1886, our reputation has been built on truth and responsibility. Thank you for watching and making a difference.
For general inquiries, contact today. Thank you on behalf of the Los Angeles Tribune team.
Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune page. Here you will find original news programming, exclusive digital events, and shows that are directly from the community. At the Los Angeles Tribune, we believe in giving a voice to the voiceless. We are proud to be the only national brand to empower everyday people to make a difference. Since 1886, our reputation has been built on truth and responsibility. Thank you for watching and making a difference.
For general inquiries, contact today. Thank you on behalf of the Los Angeles Tribune team.
Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune page. Here you will find original news programming, exclusive digital events, and shows that are directly from the community. At the Los Angeles Tribune, we believe in giving a voice to the voiceless. We are proud to be the only national brand to empower everyday people to make a difference. Since 1886, our reputation has been built on truth and responsibility. Thank you for watching and making a difference.
For general inquiries, contact today. Thank you on behalf of the Los Angeles Tribune team.
Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune page. Here you will find original news programming, exclusive digital events, and shows that are directly from the community. At the Los Angeles Tribune, we believe in giving a voice to the voiceless. We are proud to be the only national brand to empower everyday people to make a difference. Since 1886, our reputation has been built on truth and responsibility. Thank you for watching and making a difference.
For general inquiries, contact today. Thank you on behalf of the Los Angeles Tribune team.
Three parents, one dream, a new chapter in Hollywood begins. Ladies and gentlemen, you are witnessing history today as three Los Angeles Tribune best-selling authors launch their books out of a dream. And it's dreams, from dreams to pages to movies. Welcome. We have three ladies who are launching their books today. And just 4 months ago, right, you have just been like, didn't even know each other. We're just like coming together, and now they're launching their books together. So we would love to share their story, your story, guys, to our audience. So first, let's start with the lady next to me. Now, I know you've got a pen name. So which one do we go by with you? Do we go by your pen name?
You can go by my pen name.
Okay. Natasha Brune is the author of The Wise Marie, and I have to brag about this. At the Los Angeles Tribune, we have a rigid scoring in the way the books are rated for content, for excellence, for positive impact, and this book ranked one of the highest we've ever seen. So I just wanted to brag about that. Tell us a little bit about your book, and then we're going to pass it on. And I want you all to talk about your book with our audience today.
It's a memoir about
Okay. Hold it.
It's a memoir about myself. My pen name is Natasha Brune, and my name's Kimberly Cano. And it follows me from birth, or conception, as one of the chapters are called, until 2015.
Wow.
Yeah.
Excellent. It's my turn. So this one is actually a story with personal development woven into it, I should say. So something quite unique that I didn't expect actually at all. It happened one night where I couldn't sleep, and I thought of a story of a young girl growing up in the outback, having a dream to sort of not save humanity, but help humanity with their mindset, because she's seen too much negativity around her and thought, this is not right. And she was into personal development and just wanted to help others. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is actually turning into something quite real to me. And it just grew and grew from there. And I gave it more and more oxygen every day, and it just come alive. So
tell us the title.
It's called Adversity's Gift. Adversity's Gift. Bobby Joe is the girl that is in the outback, and so all of these things she chases her dream, and all these things go very wrong. But the lesson is that really it's the universe has got a better plan.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, let's pass the mic on.
Hello, I'm Edelmira Murrieta, and this book is about having it all. I mean, you really can. You can have it all. But we all experience different things, and we go through different things. But that doesn't mean that if we have perseverance, we can't have it all. So don't give up on your dreams.
I love that. It's about personal experiences, having it all, and adversity. Rita, you flew in from Australia. So we're here in Los Angeles live in the studio, but you flew in from Australia, and Adversity's Gift is such a unique book and story in that it truly is a fictional story, but there are so many life gems and insights in there. And then there's this whole concept of the game. Without giving away too much, because highly encourage the viewers to read Adversity's Gift, what was it about the whole concept of the game that you really wanted to include in the book? And then how have you actually been bringing the game to life in life as a true game?
Okay. So the concept of the game basically started from me reading Think and Grow Rich, and I thought, oh my gosh, why is that just a book or just a course or whatever? It's got to be much more. When I picked it up for the first time, I was reading till 4 o'clock in the morning, thinking it just blew me away. And I just wanted to be able to teach it after, of course, many years of studying personal development in a very unique way and something that's effective. Was that the question? Sorry? Yeah, that was the question? Yeah. And I know this game will make a big difference, and especially to the young ones that are just so lost. They don't even have a goal, they don't even set goals, let alone to pursue their goal or to become more. And really, the way it's designed, it's got a lot of analogies in there that they'll get it straight away. You can't unlearn it. Once you're taught an analogy and you go through the maze of the game and go through all this stuff, and it teaches you to be balanced, your emotional wealth, your spiritual, your physicality, your monetary wealth. It's all about being balanced. Otherwise, you're truly not wealthy unless you have all them. I'm sorry. It's no good having, say, money, for example, when you've ignored your health because, your body is your vehicle. So, yeah.
Amen.
Let me take this. So, one of the things that I love about how you ladies have taken your journey is that you started with a dream. You started with an idea, right? But it didn't end with an idea like 95% of the world does, right? Like you moved it forward, you took action. And talk about, the tagline of your book, A Story Woven with the Power of Self-Development. I wanted to ask, what has self-development played a role in your life?
Oh, huge.
And I'm going to go pass it on.
Okay, huge. I met Bob Proctor in 2015, and it
changed my world, my life. It catapulted me into the next. It gave me a quantum leap after quantum leap and so forth. And I was able to, along with my husband as my partner, purchase real estate. And once upon a time, I was homeless. I mean, I was in prison. I was trafficked. Yes. But anything's possible. And so I believe that if you can see it in your mind, which is, I believe, a strong point of mine, you can hold it in your hand, like Bob says. And that's exactly what this is. I'm holding this dream and this goal in my hand, and it came to fruition after many years and hard work. And now I'm a published author of even the Wise Marie children's series. So I have 5 published books out on Amazon right now. Sorry.
You're perfect. No need for apologies.
That's awesome. Awesome. And I'm really in awe of that, because, I mean, you've gone through so much and yet you've risen really high from that really low spot. So
Yeah.
I really, that's
And so
just
talking
beautiful.
about power of personal
Yes,
development.
absolutely. That's the power of personal development.
And like the
Exactly.
game that you're putting together.
Yeah,
the vision of it.
exactly. And I mean, it's so needed. What can I say? It's so needed. There you go.
You know, we also are putting together different things so we have a bigger impact. So right now we also have a book club / mastermind class that's on Tuesdays. It's on Thursdays. It's you would look it up under highermindmastermind.com. And if anyone's interested, or if anyone has a dream, or you were little and you wanted to be an actress, or whatever you wanted to be, don't just let it die.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
So you 3 ladies have phenomenal stories, like stories that are really rooted in your own self-belief of what is possible. Like Ava mentioned, the dream that doesn't stop, the dream that is acted upon. You all are launching your books today. So first and foremost, congratulations. Congratulations, but you're not allowing that dream to stop right there. You just started, you're expanding your books into screenplays.
Yes.
To have your stories be told on the big screen. In fact, that's how you ladies met, trying to figure out how to bring your stories not only into book form, but into the big screen. For you, what has that process been like, to think about the entire process of writing a book, writing a screenplay, and collaborating with the right people? Now, Phil Goldstein, he's not here right now, but he was here earlier today to celebrate the 3 of you ladies that have worked with him to bring your stories to life on the big screen. What has that experience been like for you?
Well, honestly, for me, it's been really super simple. And I think it's just because you have to get in proximity to people that care and people that can help you. So I met Peggy McCall and Phil Goldfine less than a year ago, and it was just an idea. So, and I don't overwhelm myself, you guys, so don't do that to yourselves either. Pick one thing and just, what can you do today? But if you keep going 365 days, you get a lot done. And this was done in less than a year.
Less than 4 months.
Yeah, it was done very, very
Exactly. I mean, at first it's overwhelming at the beginning, but that's the key, is just take that little baby step. So my method was, I'd have these little squares, and every square represented 1 hour, and I'd colour in every hour I'd put in to write my book, so that I can see my progress, like in the visual format. I think, okay, this week I've done this amount of hours, and I didn't feel overwhelmed. I thought, I am progressing, because I could see the little squares coloured in. And yeah, that sort of kept me going.
For me, it's been a wonderful experience. Nothing I can explain in just a sentence, but for me, I guess from my side of it, I'm coming from the other end. I envision what it's like to be on stage receiving an award and looking at that back end, and that's what the personal development teaches me, is come from the back end, see yourself there, and everything will fall into place like Tetris. And so far, it truly has. I mean, since meeting them, I have cleared the path in my real estate portfolio. My husband and I have sold everything except for our main personal residence, because I would rather do this and spend my time sharing the story and inspiring others, even through cinema. And yes, my book has has stories of organized crime. It has a chapter called SWAT Team Sally, one of my favorites. That's what it took to stop me on that path that I was on. And I truly believe that we are all going to have our movies done in the fashion it's going to happen, whether it's a streaming series, blockbuster movies, all kinds of opportunities are already coming through. And we're celebrating. We're celebrating already. This is our second time in 4 months being back, and it's going into the next phase and the next phase, and it's exciting. It really is.
Closer and closer. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know, one of
It's fun. Like we're having fun. That's
Enjoying the
you know what I
journey.
mean?
80 always says,
It's-
enjoy the journey.
It's silly to just think of, you know, like the end goal,
Right.
you know, because really the true gold is in the being a better person in the process.
Right.
Like it's silly not to, you know, enjoy the journey, because, you know, you get to your destination, and what, if you don't enjoy the journey, you've just wasted 99.9% of your time. Enjoy the journey. Like, makes sense to enjoy the journey.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So, you know, let's rewind life back 5 months ago. 5 months ago, you guys haven't even met. You ladies haven't met. But there was something that you dreamt of, that you desired, that you thought was possible, that made you pursue this this program and this relationship with multiple award-winning movie producer Phil Goldfine, Emmy, Tony, and Oscar award-winning producer, and he was with us earlier, and that has brought you together. So I wanted to rewind 5 months ago. What was that deciding point for you to say yes to that dream, to say yes to yourself? And because many people are like, probably like they're teetering, you know, is it worth investing on what I'm thinking of? Is it worth, you know, putting my time in this? You know, like how was that decision making for you? What was that like before you stepped into it?
It's that quote that I have where it's uncomfortable on top of a fence, any fence, whether it's a vinyl fence, a chain link fence, pick a side. And I chose a side, the right side. And Bob said Bob Proctor, and he said in many of his, I've been following him for a decade now. And he said, go to the expert. You want to write a book? What are you going to do? Go ask the guy who never wrote a book and get their opinion, or are you going to go see the expert? So that's what we all have in common. The denominator is Dr. Peggy McCall. We all signed up for a program that she and Phil Goldfine offer here in Hollywood. And it was eye-opening. It wasn't just about the book. We made friends. I mean, like we became such good friends and supporters of each other. And it helped to catapult the book. I mean, I had one book at the time I came to Hollywood, and now I have 4 more since then. So it's just go see the expert is really what it is.
That's true. That's true. I don't know what really to add to that. What was the question again?
Before you said yes, oh my God, you flew from
Australia. Yeah, that's right. I mean, naturally, there was no turning back once you get on the plane. But
Right.
no, I had no doubt from the beginning, and I thank personal development for that.
Yeah.
Just no doubt at all. And if you got just even a smidgen of doubt, it's like that little drop of poison in a glass of water. Like, just have no doubt whatsoever. And I just had that, oh gosh, I can't even think of a word at the moment. But yeah, just self-belief and changing your identity. That's so important, on how you see yourself and not how your friends see you. And you just need to be very autonomous and
Autonomous is a powerful word.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
it
it. So I'll hand it over to you, Adi.
You guys keep it really simple. When you're going to go somewhere, put a dress on. You need the shoes. You need the hair. You got to get the jewelry on. Maybe the makeup. Just do one thing at a time. That's what it's all about.
Baby
Keeping it
steps.
simple.
Yeah, baby steps.
Enjoy the journey. Stay in the now, and remember what really matters.
Stay in the now.
Present.
Present.
What is some guidance that you would want to share with an individual that has lived life and has gone through experiences and is trying to figure out how to connect with their own story, right? It's easy to fall into someone else's story, what someone else wants for you, but it really takes courage to walk in all of your experiences and then share that with other people. So what is some guidance that you would want to share with somebody?
You know, Dr. Peggy McCall always says, what do you really love? So stay in silence, think about what you want. Whatever's inside you is inside you. It's not inside anybody else. So think of what's inside, write it down, don't let it slip away. And that's what I would add to this.
That's right. For me, I think do what you truly are in resonance with, like what truly lights you up, and you can't go wrong. And then put yourself into fertile soil, meaning surround yourself with the people that are also going somewhere, and not people that are going to put negativity and really taint you with their stuff. That's, you know, people that are not going in your direction. That's all I can say.
I believe that there is a silver lining in everyone, right? Everyone has a good to them. And never not listen. Always listen and pay attention, because from the most unlikely person in soul, you could hear a nugget from heaven, right? A nugget that will turn the light on, change you. And I had, when I was in prison, I had a great roommate, a cellmate, and I was so grateful that I had her. And she taught me so many life lessons. And I thought, wow, I'm learning this from, and you can't judge. I mean, who was I to judge? She was a prostitute and I was a drug addict in there, right? Drug addict, drug dealer. And through that person, she helped challenge me, and I kept just making the better decision and knowing, okay, I'm not ever going to go down that other path. I'm going over here. This is where it's at. And just making that decision. Like they say, make the decision immediately.
You know what I love about your decision making and not being on the fence? You know, you said it's uncomfortable at big defense. So that's actually a tip for a lot of people. Like if you're uncomfortable where you are, pick a side. Pick a side, you know, and you three courageously picked a side. And one of the things that I wanted to add to your question, so you said that, look for what you really love, with Dr. Peggy McCall saying, look for what you really love and what you resonate with. And if you're finding yourself complaining, if you're finding yourself, blaming others, that's the opposite of what you love. And as a matter of fact, there is a reason you're complaining about something. There's a reason you are dissatisfied, is because you're passionate for that. And talk about passion. I worked with Rita on this book when it was first a draft, and it's 166 pages. I mean, she was passionate for this book. Passionate for this book. Like it was a never-ending story. I mean, if we did not have it is almost 500 pages, when it published. And if we didn't have a launch date, she would keep on writing and she would keep on editing.
Trying to put fire under my ass.
So the passion, for just, how does one, first of all, nurture passion? If when they find that I really like that, but I'm not passionate for it, what would you recommend in being able to nurture one's passion?
My thing is stay on that vibration. She tells me this all the time. She can tell when I'm getting a little dark. Dark meaning just with life, right? Real estate, other things that, and she'll reach out and say, Kim, stay in the vibration, meaning the vibration, like what we're in now, you can be in it all the time. It's right up here, which goes into here, right? So just keep feeding your subconscious all positive, and stay in the now and enjoy the present. That's her thing with me, because I'm always overwhelmed. I want to look ahead. I want to do these quantum leaps. I could die tomorrow kind of a thing. I want it now, right? I'm very passionate, honey.
Yeah, it's really being aware. I always say, if you're aware, you're halfway there. So, like the screen of your mind, of your marvelous mind, is so important. And then you kind of know when you're slipping a little bit. You think, oh gosh, I just got cranky for this silly thing. You're just aware and you snap out of it. But that takes practice.
Yes, it does.
And personal development, it's very similar to you go to the gym to keep your body fit, right? So you got to go to the gym every day.
Twice a day.
With keeping your mind sharp and in the right vibration constantly, you have to be in the study. And even if it's just half an hour a day, even 15 minutes a day, you're still polishing your mind, and you need to do it constantly. It's not an overnight thing. I'm sorry to say, it's really
But
something.
the more
that's
you do
constant.
it, the more.
Oh, but after it is like Napoleon Hill says, the cosmic habit force. So the great thing about nature is you do something constant enough, then you don't. It's less work. It goes on autopilot.
Right.
And once it's on autopilot, you're laughing.
Pay attention who you're around.
Gratitude.
That will do all of it.
There you go.
If you pay attention who you're around, and whenever you're not feeling amazing, come back to gratitude. If you're thankful, you get back into that feeling. Feeling is the key to everything. So go back to that moment that you really feel where you want to be. Do you want to feel upset? Because if you give more energy to being upset, you'll be more upset. So pay attention where you're putting your time in, who you're spending time with. That's what I would say.
Yeah. Energy goes where energy flows, like they, or maybe I inverse that there. But, Rita, you talked about how Think and Grow Rich was a book that inspired you and shifted things for you and inspired your book. For you, what is a book that you've read in the past that has inspired you and why? Because it's one thing to read a book and, oh, that was good. But that book that just sits on your spirit, sits on your soul, sits on your heart. What was that book for you?
There's a book, 1923. It's before Napoleon Hill. It's Elise Benedict, is I believe her name. And she was someone that was helping women be, for them to be able to vote. And she's literally on a stage and somebody pours a bucket of water over her. And she said, no one's going to dampen my enthusiasm.
Wow. I love
Is that a book?
That's a book. She wrote it. She has many books. Elise, Benedict.
Elise Benedict.
Yeah, it's 1923. It's before Napoleon Hill.
Yeah.
But that means that, people already know. We already know what to do, you guys. Her book says breathe, drink your water. It doesn't have to cost any money. Like it could be for free. But what are we doing?
Yeah.
We only have we all have the same amount of time. Are we throwing it away? Because if you look at it like money, it could be, what is it, $1,444? Would you throw it away? So you have the minutes every day. What are you doing with it?
That's right. I just want to add to that. I mean, reading something and putting it into action are two very different things, because I didn't put it into action for a while. I thought, why is this not working? And I realized you don't truly understand something unless you put it into action. Then you really get it. And it took me a while to get it, but once I got it, it's like, you never go back.
Yeah.
Never got when you really get it. And as Adi said about the secret is in the feeling. Yeah, that's a clue right there. Yeah.
The feeling and staying in the now.
Staying in the now. The staying in the now is really powerful. It took me a while to get that, but now I realize that you're not truly living unless you're really present to the moment. Not living in the past or living in the future. You're going to live in the past. It's like, you'd be busy regretting a lot of stuff, and in the future you're busy getting worried. It's ridiculous. So
For me, it's not just one book. It's Bob Proctor. I have to be honest. He broke down all of the beliefs and teachings, the prosperity, the self-empowerment in layman's terms. And it resonated with me and touched my heart on so many occasions, where it literally saved my life from darkness. Because I slipped back in, not with drugs or anything, but just depression during the pandemic. I had a family member poison me. And that's in the second book.
Wow.
Yes. Oh, boy, suspense. Anyway. So what I would say is, and I was saving up money and I'm going to go see Bob before he, gets too old. And then he passed. And so then I thought, what am I going to do now? And he's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
He's part of it. He's probably here now. You know what I mean? He's part of the universe. And you put that energy out and it comes back to people in other ways.
Yeah.
Or else I wouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah.
So it's not just one book. It's all of his teachings that set me straight for 10 years.
One thing that I love about your shares, and thank you for asking the question on books, Alicia, because books change lives. That's a word from Mark Victor Hansen and Crystal Hansen. Books change lives. The leaders read. You know, no doubt about it, leaders read. You know, the leaders read, and to be able to write your book, inspire, you know, bring your story to life, it's so powerful because to someone else, you're Bob Proctor. You know, your story would be a Bob Proctor to them. Your story would be a Bob Proctor to someone. I know that you had, you know, the people that have really impacted your lives, and each one of your books, you know, I love how you turned it into fiction. You know, when I first accepted, Rita's book, I told Rita I have always done, nonfiction books, and I said, I'm like, this is the first fiction that I would do, and I fell in love with it. I'm like, apparently you can do anything with fiction. You know, you could like, add anything. You can, spin to something, change. Like you could be so creative with fiction. And I totally fell in love with it. Like Rita and I, like we literally like it, to us, the story is real. You know, Bobby Joe is real. Actually, Bobby Joe is Rita. That's the secret of the story. Yeah. So I know that your dream is to turn these books into movie. And it's not just a dream, it's something that you're acting on. So this is going to be my last question. And of course, you get to bring your biggest fan and your sonager, in this question. And then we're going to bring two of our co-authors also who are here. Not exactly co-authors, but mega authors also in their own rights supporting us in this book launch. Friends of the Los Angeles Tribune. But I wanted to have, you said, put yourself in the future, right? I want you to put us in the future of what your movie looks like. Okay. You know, when you envision your movie in the big screen, because you three are setting up a movement. You know, we are at the city of Hollywood where movies began to transform, and you all came to Hollywood from different places. None of you lived here, but this is where, I always have this dream of honoring the ones who started, movie and filmmaking. And it started with people figuring out even black and whites here in Los Angeles, being in theaters here in LA, and you're all bringing it back together. But we have a new chapter in Hollywood begins. And this is one thing that I saw with Phil Goldfine is that, the story lies in the hands of the people, not just the elite filmmakers, but now bringing the movies to people who have the ideas and have the story. So paint a picture for us of what your movie is like in the future, present tense.
Okay. So my movie will be one of several because it cannot be squeezed into one movie. It just can't. And so it'll have a volume 1 where it starts off, and we'll get into all of this. So this takes from conception until 2015, but through it's basically 11 years. The first story is 11 years of no plan, living on the street, like basically living on the street, not digging in a garbage can, but living on the street and, like maneuvering and travel. I traveled. I went to Japan. I taught a billionaire how to speak English. I wrote about that in the book. It's a chapter in the book. And so I believe that I'll have a prequel because I want to get into the ancestors who were brought to Hawaii. The story, this book, I don't have the hard copy of the Paradise edition, but Phil asked me to rewrite a version for Hawaii and to expose the underbelly.
Oh, that was a beautiful part. That was what we reviewed, the Paradise version.
And I know and I added to it, this was the original version. So when I came to see Phil, this was in process in October. And he spoke to me and said, no one's ever done the exposing of the underbelly and the crime, the organized crime. Everyone thinks it's all about Mai Tais and luau's and hula skirts and, everyone laying on the beach. And people don't realize people get murdered there too. People get, there's organized crime that still exists there. Right. And in the 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s, it was very, very prevalent. So
we see kind of like a Harry Potter, series of the Wise Marine movie.
I believe so. I believe so, because we have to hit on volume 2. We would want to hit prequel, like how George Lucas did with Star Wars, where he went back in time. So that's what I would like to do, is flip back and forth and then come to where we're at today and have it all, just hone in on what my goals are. And the big C goal, to be honest with you, is my nonprofit. It's the Aloha Jigsaw Foundation. I want to help children who are not as fortunate. I point here to 80's child who's in front of us, and, not everyone from the fires on Maui are as fortunate. There's a lot of things going on there that the media doesn't cover. And so I would like to create a mindset academy and teach the children, the keiki, they call them keiki there, right? About that and expose them to that so that, you know, they have an option. Anything's possible, right?
Anything's possible.
So,
I answered the question.
Oh, very much so.
yeah. So, I mean, how I envision it to go out there, as in, like on the big screen, or not necessarily a series. I think my story would be more of a movie, like big screen.
And a game.
Yes, definitely big screen. And just recently I went to watch an Australian movie, and I envisioned watching mine and seeing the reaction, because I was watching the reaction of the people. I thought, I hope they react to my story like that. And I sort of, envisioned that. But there will be, without having a spoiler alert, a part 2. There's definitely a part 2 where something happens to the game.
Well, you actually gave up the part during the flight.
Oh my gosh, did I tell you that?
Yeah.
I did tell you that. I did. I couldn't believe it. The whole 13 hours, I could not sleep again. And I come up with part 2, like the overall idea of part 2. And so it's a bit of a Jumanji style.
Ooh, I love it. Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, it must have been the altitude or something. I don't know.
Is the altitude?
I just, it's like your imagination honestly just lays dormant. It lays dormant. And I mean, I just thought I was creative just being a hairdresser. But little did I know I had another kind of different kind of creative side of me.
And
Yeah,
so Goldfine said that about you.
I know, I was
What did Goldfine say about your creativity?
I don't remember, but he said something about that. He said that was very clever. That's the words I remember. Do you remember those words?
Well, and he calls her a comedian because she's very expressive, and we have this guy here. We'll put a little hint out there that there could be some kind of movie that comes up with a certain wallaby talking wallaby.
We've got a name for that already.
Right.
Should we reveal? Not yet.
No, not yet. No.
That will be very humorous. I have included humor in it. A bit of
Australian humor.
Australian humor. And a little bit of tad of romance. I couldn't help it. I love romance.
Right.
It's like, yes, hopeless romantic.
Well, you love romance. This is romance,
Oh,
guys.
absolutely.
This is romance. But it's also about what decisions are you making so you get to feel the way you deserve to feel. So it's the little things that matter, guys. And something else I would say is you always have to have that strong why. That why that keeps you going. That why that's going to, make you climb mountains, and nothing will stop you.
You would bring your wife?
I would bring my why. Milan, do you want to come up and say hello?
Yes. Rita.
Hello.
Would you like to tell them your name?
My name is Milan Murrieta, and I'm the son of Edelmira.
His son, how do you call that?
We named him the Senator because he's been here supporting on set, taking pictures, everything like that.
Take you back home with me. My sister.
He's our cheerleader. She will ask a question.
Can you please share with everyone what you told me earlier? Because you walked in here today into the studio with conviction, and you were talking about the movies. And what did you tell me?
That I am going to be in those movies.
Yes, you are. She's going to be a young version of Alonzo, aren't you?
Yeah.
That would make a great Alonzo.
So I love that. You came in here talking about how you're going to be a star in the movies. Talk about dreaming, but then taking action. It's like you have a dream, but you already are understanding, and you're 10. Right? Understanding what it takes to take action and be a part of the experience. And I have to say, as someone that's been hanging out with you today, the way that you support your mom is beautiful.
He's had a great role model.
Oh my
Look
God.
at Adi,
Thank you so much.
So tell us about your mom's, how you feel about your mom's book and your mom's upcoming movie.
I think my mom's idea is absolutely incredible.
You You need some points there.
And I think that this book is going to help tons of people.
Tons of people.
Yeah,
Tons of people, so good.
I know. So it's changed my perspective too of relationships. Absolutely.
Even
Once you
her
read
book.
it, it's yeah. I'm saying you must.
Start her husband, guys. Start her husband.
We love that. And you know, it's so beautiful that you three have come together, that you started your journey today working with Phil Goldfine, who he is such a decorated human being in the world of movie and film and production. And he has so much wisdom and knowledge, and he's really created an experience so that people can come learn what it's like to take a film from the screenplay to the big screen, thinking about funding and everything like that. And then you all have come out and put in books. What is something, before we invite our guest here, what is something that you want people to know or to understand about just taking that next step? Like if they're anchored in their why, just taking that next step. Because look at the three of you here, right? Just a few months later, you have so many books written. You have 2 versions of your book because you took that step to walk, to meet with Peggy, to meet with Phil. So what is it that you would want people to know?
You know, something I observed today is Phil didn't come alone. He came with Michael Cervantes, an actor. He came with Ben, his right-hand man, like his producer. He came with several people that help him do what he does. And so it really shows all of us that we're stronger together than we are on our own.
Yeah.
Or anything, I mean, oh, sorry.
Something you want to say?
Yeah. I also think that with even her quote, that anything that you could envision, you could have in your hand.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. I've forgotten what I was going to say.
I would say Phil said to me, be flexible. Be flexible. Don't have it black and white in your mind what this movie's going to be. Be flexible, because you don't know. Your movie, a chapter of your book could be a Lifetime movie. It could, the whole thing could be a blockbuster movie with prequels and sequels and whatnot. Or it could be a successful long-running series streaming on one of the top channels, and then from there it could go into a movie. You just have to be completely flexible. He said.
Absolutely. I'm going to answer that too and say don't have a box. And when it comes to not having a box, Rita's book literally, I wouldn't even say blew out the box. Like there was no box. I'm like, it was so creative. She has Spotify links in there. She has like resources in there. You know, I'm like, it's absolutely amazing. And talking about books, I wanted to invite 2 other authors. I mean, you're with the Los Angeles Tribune, and the Los Angeles Tribune, we're always surrounded by authors. So of course we're going to be best friends. That means I'm going to scoot a little bit more to the right, maybe bring Barry in with me, and we're going to bring Renee to the side of Alicia. So split it a little bit this way, and Barry, you could be on this, and Renee could be on there with Alicia's side. Okay. Will you be able to fit in there, Renee, without falling through? Okay. So let me say, this is how close families are. And, you know, at the Los Angeles Tribune, we brag about family. We brag about the Los Angeles Tribune family. You know, we're not just a news channel. We're not just about a personal development channel. We're about family. We're about community. And we've got really loyal and strong community at the Los Angeles Tribune with our CEO, Mo Brock, the father of it all, the visionary of news that inspires, educates, and empowers. And Barry is the relationship expert. So tell us a little bit more about your book, and thank you for supporting the book launch.
It's a pleasure to be here and to be supporting these lovely ladies. My book basically is distillation of everything I've learned over the last few decades. But basically it's a book about relationships, but really about the one with yourself to make you a better partner, so you attract a better partner. So that's why the book's been written.
Well, I happen to have worked with your copy, and so I know a little bit more about, you know, your TEDx talk and all of that. So I was profoundly blown away that your book was written from your own authentic experience. So tell us a little bit more about that authentic experience that brought you to writing the book. Thinking it's someone else's problem and not you, but you're the common denominator, that part.
Let's just simply say that I made a lot of mistakes in my relationships. And thankfully, one of my partners that I broke up with, she was kind enough to read me the right act that really put me on the path. Because her, I say this nicely, feedback.
That's a good one.
Was it more of like a passionate feedback?
The passionate feedback. But it was, the thing was, is that what she told me was what I realized was true for previous relationships as well. I realized I was doing the same thing again and again, independent of my partners, which of course I knew better, but now I was doing better. So when I wrote the book, it's really the lessons I've learned over the years, my own mistakes, my own lessons, my own teachings, and the teachers I've studied with. And I've studied with a myriad of teachers over the last 30, 40 years.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that I love about your authenticity in the way you talked about your expertise. You know, you think expertise comes from like, you know, having like really studied and pursued. I mean, we lived hard lives. We lived hard lives. You know, like we paid for it. And Barry one thing that I love about what you said was like, you know, you were pointing fingers. You know, they just weren't ready. They weren't. You know, they just different reasons why the relationship weren't working out until you saw the one common denominator of it all, right? So talk about a little bit about that, and then we're going to pass it on to, you know, Renee and our possibility celebrity.
That's the reality, is that anything you enter into, you've chosen to be there. So any bad relationship, as mad as it may be how it's their fault, in quotes, you put yourself there in the first place. So it's always about being the common denominator. And once you learn that, especially when you're single, which is why I work with singles, you raise your standards and you choose better. And that's what I've been doing. I've been single for a long time because I know what I'm doing is important. And I'll find someone who wants to walk with me in that path. I'm not like chasing somebody to be my partner. Much healthier.
Well, first of all, that's crazy that you have relationships that aren't working and then you're raising your standards, you know, but I guess that's what it takes. When things aren't working, raise your standards.
And to be blunt, it's also doing the work to raise your standards. It's not just saying, I'm going to choose higher. It's like, no, be a better person. Like, do the work. Heal your own wounds, especially your parent wounds is one of the big ones. And I do a lot of work with inner parts. And that is really where things change, because when you start recognizing your own patterns, your own beliefs, your own rules, and you change them, that's when your standards rise.
We're going to leave the celebrity for the end of this. It's going to go around. But I want you to say, how can they find you? Where can they find your book? Talk about your book. And then we're going to pass it around because we're surrounded by a family of authors. Let's go.
Thank you. So my book is 50 Ways to Love Your Lover. It is on Amazon. It's also on my website. And my name, Barry Selby, is my website. So you can find me everywhere, YouTube, etc. So come find me and reach out to me. If you need help, message me. I'll help you.
Generous.
Nice. NatashaBrune.com, thewisemarie.com, and I'm also on Amazon. Both the children and the adult books are for sale there, and you can find me on social media. I'm heavy on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Happy to help.
Fantastic. So yeah, Adversity's Gift is on Amazon as from yesterday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, my plan is to get it into physical stores as well.
I believe it's in Barnes & Noble today. Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, great.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. So yeah, also you can find me the same, as Barry, RitaMontalto.com. And yeah, there'll be a few other goodies in there, so you got to check that out. Thank you.
I just wanted to add something real quick with Ben, with Phil's right hand, like his right hand man, like he's the second producer. When he left here, he scheduled to read these books. He said, these books will be read in the next 3 weeks and I'll contact you. So when you schedule what you're doing, you'll get it done. So I just wanted to mention that. But 80 Murrieta is also like my nickname, 80. So it's A as in apple, D as in David, D as in David, E, period, MURRIETA.com. So you could reach me there, and we have so many things coming, you guys. If you guys are listening to this, come to the book club. It's a mastermind. We'll help you. Yeah, we'll help you get ideas.
How do you get
and it's called HigherMindMastermind.com.
Yes, that's right.
Is that what it is? HigherMindMastermind.com.
Is that wrong?
But otherwise, you could always email me at 80.murrieta@gmail.com. And this book is also on Amazon.
Well, before you Alicia,
My self-mastermind.
we have a mastermind.
Self-mastermind.
Oh.
Can I get the mastermind book, please? There's a mastermind book, and I wanted to give Vladdy a shout out.
Oh, yes.
Because we can, you know, like end this broadcast without having given Vladdy a shout out.
Is
So Vladdy is the author of like amazing, like the Bible of masterminds. And so these are like the mastermind experts you're talking to.
Well, oh, you're right. Why am I not using a mic? So yes, so I wanted to give Vladdy a shout out because you know these ladies are masters of masterminds in the way that they form relationships and support each other. Like what are masterminds about, right? Like if it is not to be in a community of people that you can that you can rely on and support and you know give you honest feedback, right? Feedback, you know, that changes lives. And so wanted to give Vladdy a shout out too, but I'm gonna go past Mac.
Absolutely.
And I love that. We've talked about personal development. We've talked about masterminds. We've talked about dreaming and taking action. And here at the Los Angeles Tribune, working with the visionary CEO, Mo Rock, we're really about content that's inspiring, it's empowering, it's educational, and it's impactful. And that's something that is so core to everything that we do. You know, Rita, your book, not only is a critically acclaimed Los Angeles Tribune bestseller, but it's published through the Los Angeles Tribune publishing house. All of you all have taken your story and put it out there, and it is an absolute pleasure to be sitting here with someone who is so near and dear to the Los Angeles Tribune. She is an author and she is the lead visionary behind the global kindness movement. You literally go out in the community and you're tracking acts of kindness, and you're known for something called the sunshine effect, for putting more positivity out there into the world. So Renee, it is such a pleasure to have you here with us live today. You are such an integral part of our community. Your book, The Sunshine Effect, is a Los Angeles Tribune bestseller and has been for quite some time. For you, why is it that you do what you do? Because you pour so much love into what it is that you do.
Well, the short answer is because it feels good. I believe that we're all here to support each other and to be kind together. And, you know, we can talk about the book for a second later, but my love, my passion is the global kindness movement that we're working on and that you are such a big part of. And thank you, Mo Rock, for agreeing to partner with the global kindness movement on it. It truly just feels good to share stories of kindness and love, but going out into the community and actually hugging people and giving people things, it feels amazing. And I am on a mission to show everybody how good it feels, because once you feel that good, you don't want to stop. And if everybody is nice, then the world changes. So that is my love.
Yes.
Couldn't agree more.
It is. And the sunshine effect, you know, they would love for you to talk about the sunshine effect, right? If someone was walking in a bookstore on the digital shelves and they walked past the sunshine effect book, what is it that you would really want them to know, the essence of what you bring to life on these pages?
Well, they're true stories that don't start off real positively. A lot of them, they're very difficult times. I'll jump to one of them where I actually had 6 surgeries and no voice for 9 months. And I was told that I would never speak again. Wow. I'm speaking, right?
Yes, you are.
Yes, and I actually think that was a message from a higher power. I don't care. I call it God. You can call it whatever you want, but that was my, hello, you are supposed to be speaking, and you've been playing too small. You've been letting people crush your spirit. And after the 6th surgery, the doctor said, okay, let's try a 7th one. Maybe we'll put a metal stent in there. And I said, no. And that's when I took my power back, and my voice came back in a few weeks.
Wow.
Powerful. So powerful.
So that is why I wrote this book. And many of the chapters start off with very difficult things that we all go through. Not all of us, but very common things, divorce, finances, just things that happen, people not being kind, gossiping.
Near death 3 times? Oh, wow.
Well, yes. I know I'm supposed to be here, let's put it like that,
Yes.
which is an amazing feeling. So,
Yeah, something to that.
Yeah.
Something to that. You know, it really matters what people do. It's not what they say. And she has been here the whole time helping us. And, you know, she really has. And it's important for us to acknowledge it and notice these people.
That's right.
Because, you know, as soon as, you know, everyone's so busy. Not everyone takes the time to really do this. And it was just something I observed.
Yeah, and really want to give you your flowers. I mean, Ray, I know that you've literally gone grocery shopping, seen someone outside of the grocery store and given them your full grocery haul, right? Like you really live and breathe it, and you know, you have launched the global kindness movement, which is all about sharing stories of kindness, whether you witness kindness like you just did today with Renee's presence here, whether you are on the receiving end of kindness or whether you were giving kindness. But that's really what it's about, because like you said, acts of kindness, they're healing. They make you feel good. They make people feel good. You never know, something that you said, something that you did can shift someone and someone can shift in someone's life. And you know, all of you here, you know, your acts of kindness through writing your story, through helping people with love and relationships with themselves and with others, with telling your true story and all that it comes with, right? And you're here and you have your nonprofit and you want to give back. Rita, to you, you know, Adversity's Gift, the game, right? Helping people understand the world of personal development, but in a way that's kind of easy to understand. Sometimes personal development can be a little bit heavy or overwhelming, but you know, I love Adversity's Gift in the way that you make it so that people can just get lost in the story and then realize, wow, this is actually doing something for me. And you for showing people what can be, right? You know, what beautiful relationships are about, but also like what it actually means to dream big, because it can be easy to kind of sit where you're at and let that stop. But you really are showing people what is possible. See, here at the Los Angeles Tribune, we love to highlight individuals that are telling these stories. Our critically acclaimed bestseller experience is about books that are culturally relevant, that are written well, but they make an impact. It's not about how many people you know, it's about what impact are you making, whether it's for one person, 5 people, 10 people, and beyond. So I just want to say thank you to you all for really sharing your stories with the world, because reading your story can shift something for someone. So thank you so much. Thank you to all of you for tuning in. I'm going to hand us back to Ava B. Manuel, our editor-in-chief.
Thank you so much. But I've always been saying LA Tribune is a family, so we're really gonna make it a family. You know, whenever we have an event, you know, we honor the people who really give their time. And we've got, first of all, the sponsor of this location. We are at the Gold Room Studio in the Los Angeles. So I'm gonna invite the director of the Gold Room Studio, Louis. But Louis, this means you gotta be on the floor because this is a family. And we are going to invite Joe also. So this is, I mean, I don't mind. I'm gonna go sit on the floor with you. But I wanted to invite you to be part of this conversation, and wanted to have you share. You know, Joe is powerful. Joe, come on over. Joe, you can no, we get to sit like a family. Okay, so look at this.
Ever asked me to do, how about
okay, so
you guys don't have to leave because I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead, because otherwise your heads are cut. So go ahead and sit down. But this is a family, and I wanted to say, Joe, you are very instrumental in my life and my husband's. My husband has 9 days straight been getting up at 5:30 in the morning because of your 5:30 club that you lead. So tell us a little bit more about that. I mean, like, it's crazy. Like, how, you know, we have breathing and cold showers at 5:30 in the morning, but you know, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for the change that you're making. I wanted you to share a little bit about that. And then, Sir Luis, we're going to invite you too.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. First of all, thank you everyone, all the great author. You guys should be proud of yourself, and you guys are changing lives. And when I got the invitation that Eva and Alan say, come to the book signing, and I did not know what it is, but it's a book tour. In my thought, it's about maybe come to learn who's behind the book. And the true story behind is that everyone has a story. And when you share your story, someone out there, could be a teenager, could be a parent, could be a kid lonely somewhere waiting to see your message and possibly relive, possibly motivate them to work on their dream. And Ava asked me to share what we do every single morning. And I said, thank you, Ava.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We start our program because things that happen to us. And the reason why I was part of the program called Superhuman Today, and we all of us are superhuman, as a matter of fact, all 8 billion of us. But more importantly, the people that are sitting here, they realize that they have a calling. All of us have a calling, and all of us have the abilities to change us. We cannot control outside of us, but inside of us, we can control ourselves. So our Superhuman Today, at 5:30, we meet in the morning, rain or shine, 7 days a week, yes. So I would get up, turn on Zoom, then people start trickling in across America. We got people from Miami, Houston, New York, LA, Vegas. This is what we do. We start out Monday to Friday. It's success. It's about career and money. See, money is not the root of all evil. Money is resource. See, God wants abundance of everybody. In order for us to help our family, we gotta have abundance, we gotta have resource. So money is energy, money is just resource. So Monday to Friday, what do? We're overwhelmed by paying bills. But Monday to Friday, it's about setting a mindset for growth. So in the meditation that we do for 15 minutes only, but we are guided by the source of energy already within us. We motivate, inspire ourselves to get up and consistently push through no matter, yes, adversity, one of the book, right? So the idea is this right here. We have the power to push through. Any challenges, it's only temporary. So we started with the guided meditation by Sakaya Redford. And he's my coach, my trainer, my mentor. And most of all, he's my brother. You guys are all brother and sister here. We're all as one. So the moment we know that, so we've been asked, it is the easiest person that we can be because we don't need to fake it. We just have to be ourselves, authentically, truth to ourselves. So that's the meditation.
Join the 530 Club.
How?
How can they join the 530 Club?
Very easy. You ask Abba.
No.
Actually, all right, so if you guys want to join the 530 Club, all you need to do, it's free, by the way, and you would join us through Superhuman Today. We have a phone number that I'm supposed to give it out, but
Put it in the comment section.
yeah, we'll put it in the comment section. So I'm going to run by the program really fast. So the agenda is this right here. Monday, so we do meditation.
You're gonna have to shorten that, Joe.
Wim Hof breath work, right? After Wim Hof breath work, cold plunges, swim in the oceans, cold plunge, cold shower, and then we come back, do exercise. Then after exercise, we do goal setting and share. The two most powerful questions that you ask yourself, the audience and everyone here, what's alive in you? And what are the 3 goals that you're doing today to move the needle towards your dream, your purpose, and your goals? And every single day, we would choose 20 minutes while we're in the cold shower. There's an uplift, motivation, and the inspired message that you hear, you listen to, that one quote that's going to change your life. And every day we do that for 20 minutes. And by the way, weekend edition, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, the meditation is 1 hour. It's reprogramming, right? Your limited belief, throw that out the window, let go of your old story, and program your new version of yourself. That is 1 hour on Saturday. On Sunday, guess what? Rejuvenation. Let the mind does its thing through quiet and through listening to the source and the inner voice.
Thank
Thank you, Eva.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Well, I didn't know what I called into when I asked Joe to scare about this. Because now you know, like you don't even know the people that you are surrounded by, but the energy. And Mr. Lewis, we're gonna bring in. I want you to talk about the studio that you are, managing, the Gold Room Studio. Tell us a little bit more about it. Thank you for sponsoring. Thank you to the owner of the studio, Nero. But I see that we get to give you a chair. So let me just step out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, have a seat.
All right. Sorry. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming and joining us. It's a pleasure having you here. It's very encouraging and inspiring to be around all these writers and people within the Los Angeles Tribune, and thank you so much for being here. My name is Louis DeStefano. I'm an Italian-American actor, producer here in LA, born and raised, and this is the Gold Room Studio, brought to you by Nero-san. Goes by Nero. Me and Nero, we partnered up back in 2013 on some films, music videos, to starting multiple online businesses, to even real estate, and now we moved from 1,000 square foot studio to a 5,000 square foot studio that you're here today. And so yeah,
Tell us a little about your vision.
My vision?
The vision of the studio.
Vision of the studio. For anyone that wants to come here to hold any type of events, whether it's fashion or book signings or podcasts, feature films, music videos, we've done it all. We shot a feature film here recently that I'm starring in. Not the star, but I'm acting in, right? And then we shot music videos here. We shot stuff for all types of stuff that you can think of. Content creators, pretty much, that's the space that we have. If you want to have like a bachelor party, you can have that here. Reception, whatever it is, we can hold those events here. And yeah, the future is bigger and bright here because we're not stopping. And like I said, we came from 1,000 square foot studio to 5,000 square foot within a couple of years, and we're just going to continue to grow and open up more studios. We're even thinking about Vegas in the near future because we actually have property out there. So stay tuned to that for future other updates. And yeah, anything else? Any questions?
I will give it back to Alicia, and Alicia gets the books us.
Yeah.
I was just going to say something.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. About reading books, I always say to someone, when you read a book, you don't just read a book. It's the equivalent of meeting that person, and that you otherwise wouldn't have met. So it's like, yeah, choose the right books for sure. And we got to correct.
Like Bob Roger.
Yeah, it's like it's equivalent to meeting them.
Yes, having your mentor.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And so we just want to say thank you to you all for joining us today. Congratulations on your book launch again. For those of you interested in the mastermind, you can find the mastermind at higherselfmastermind.com. This is a live event here. This is the first of 4 stops for Rita on her book tour that is covering both the East Coast and the West Coast. You'll be in Las Vegas, and then you'll be in Texas,
Dallas.
and Dallas, and then you'll be in New York. And so, if you have a story within you, because we all know, and that was a rhetorical question here, because everybody has a story within them, but there's something that happens when you can step into that story, when you can take actions on your dreams. It has been a pleasure being with you all today. Until next time, thank you so much, and we will see you soon. Congratulations, everybody. And, Ava, I would just love for you to close us out one more time.
Okay. Well, I always say that, from the story of Alicia books, change lives, and you all have a story. And what I wanted to say is, first of all, if you are struggling to write your story, you could ask. I've got to say, thank you to Mark Najjar, who's also one of the authors that I've supported in writing his book. He was just here recently and had to leave quickly. But I wanted to gift you with a starter for you to be able to put your book together. And all you got to do is text Books with Ava. It's books with AVA, because it's just 3 letters, AVA, to 26786. And I'm texting you a GPT generated pre-programmed trainer that would interview you to provide you with the structure of your view from end to end on a 60-minute interview. So I wanted to give that to you. I know just 2 days ago, I was speaking to someone who thought that it was impossible for her to write a book. She just wanted to write a chapter. I'm like, according to who? I'm like, I'll get your book done in in 24 hours. So wanted to thank you all. We wanted to encourage you, write your book, tell your story. The dreamers in here was changing the new chapter of Hollywood, entering the new chapter of Hollywood. Thank you so much, to the three ladies, Natasha, Brune, Rita, Montalto, and Edelmira, Murrieta. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you to our CEO, Maura.
Thank you and congrats, everyone.
Bye.
Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune page. Here you will find original news programming, exclusive digital events, and shows that are directly from the community. At the Los Angeles Tribune, we believe in giving a voice to the voiceless. We are proud to be the only national brand to empower everyday people to make a difference. Since 1886, our reputation has been built on truth and responsibility. Thank you for watching and making a difference.
For general inquiries, contact today. Thank you on behalf of the Los Angeles Tribune team.
Hello?